His story just doesn't add up, and so I think it was only a matter of time before it came to this. If he had told Susan, hey, I'm going to take the boys out camping, and, you know, it's 10 degrees out, it's a blizzard, and we have school the next day, she would have said no way, and she went to let him.
But again, Rachel Marini appearing on the Today Show, just basically saying there that his story of a midnight camping trip on a Sunday night into Monday morning just does not add up. We're taking your calls, 1-877-TEL-HLN. Joining us, Elizabeth Kelly. Welcome back, criminal defense attorney. Elizabeth, what about that? A friend saying that his story just does not add up.
Well, Mike, as I'm sure you know, at trial, a prosecutor does not have to prove motive. And I'm not sure that much of what this woman said would even be admissible at trial because large portions are hearsay. Bizarre behavior does not add up to a criminal indictment. And when Susan's father was on earlier, he said that the family is trying to take things day by day. And that's important for all of us because at this point in time, there is no physical evidence against the husband. There is no eyewitness to testify against the husband. And most importantly, and I suppose we should thank God for this, a body has not been found.
Well put. Well put, yeah. I mean, what you're saying is right. His behavior, bizarre. We can agree on that, which leads to the questions, which we're asking, our viewers are asking. Let's go to the phones. Peter is with us in Canada. Hey, Peter, your thoughts?
Yes.
Hey, Peter.
Two quick questions.
Go ahead.
The first one, does the husband have a criminal record?
Okay.
And number two, is there any domestic violence issues?
Two good questions. Let's go to Michelle Sagona. Investigative journalist, MichelleSagona.com. You can always find more. Number one, criminal record. Does he have one?
Well, here's what we know. We know that he did, in fact, file for bankruptcy in 2007. So as far as any other criminal activity that goes along with that, not too sure about at this particular point. But then on to your next question, the domestic violence issue. There could possibly have been, based on friends' accounts and reports and family members, some verbal, mental, and emotional abuse. But again, that's not, you know, we don't know for sure because unfortunately Susan isn't here to tell us that. But this is also very similar, Mike, I do want to mention and want to be able to bring this up to the Lisa Stebick and Stacey Peterson cases. Still to this day, more than 2 years later, we have both of their husbands, Craig Stebick and also Drew Peterson, who are still only persons of interest in those cases.
Exactly. And to be clear, Michelle, on any kind of domestic abuse issues, nothing has been reported in the Powell marriage.
No. There's not been any physical reports of physical violence. But again, that's not saying that, you know, when you control money and you control someone's mind and you try to go after them, that is still considered domestic violence. But again, those are only accounts from friends and family.
Okay, let's get in.
But Mike,
go ahead, Elizabeth.
In this economy, thousands of families, unfortunately, have declared bankruptcy. And all of these people who supposedly saw acts of domestic violence, I don't know if they can be called at trial. That is to say, they now suddenly are experts about this so-called controlling behavior.
Controlling, belittling, fighting. Let's get Steve Rogerson. Doesn't that add up, though, Steve? And if so, how does it add up? Because you got to connect legal dots. Friends and what they observed is not going to lead to an indictment, right?
Well, that's right, Mike. What we don't want to do is discourage anybody from coming forward thinking that what they have to say is minute. Every bit of information the police can get involving an investigation is so very important. So these things indeed may not add up to an indictment, but they will certainly help the police put pieces of this puzzle together to lead to an indictment.
Okay, let's get another call in. Leslie in South Carolina. Leslie, your comment or question?
Yeah, hi. It's ironic that you bring up Drew Peterson and the control issue. I may well be wrong on this, but I was under the impression that he did not retain counsel right away, within a couple of days or so.
No, he did not. He gave some interviews with reporters, and I believe those are being dissected by authorities. And then he went and got himself an attorney.
Right, and I guess what is frustrating to me is this is such a ludicrous story, and he is not a Drew Peterson, and the kinesiology of it and everything, he can't look anyone in the eye. I guess I hate to criticize law enforcement, but it didn't appear that they were terribly assertive with him.
Well, the clock's run out on us. I'm not sure how assertive they could be as he comes back with his boys saying camping trip. They're still trying to undo that and unravel that and find out whether or not they did go camping. Guys, we got to run. We'll have more news coming up. Stay with us.